Hi there, this is Damien from Stars Like You, and I'd like to welcome you to a short introductory video on the nature of Venus. So we're going to be looking at Venus and her placement in the chart based on her sign and house position. And this is just a general video to give you an idea on how Venus works. If you need to find Venus's position in your chart, then I encourage you to watch our other video on how to create your own birth chart, and that will allow you to work out what your Venus position is. Now, Venus governs themes around sensuality, aesthetics, and also relationships. So Venus is a really important symbol to understand in terms of what you need from relationship and also what you're likely to be attracted to. And so first of all, let's just have a look at the symbols relative, or symbols and signs relevant for Venus. And so you can see her glyph or symbol there, the circle with the cross underneath it. And Venus is said to rule the signs of Taurus and Libra. Her average speed, or the rate with which Venus moves through the zodiac, is approximately 1 degree of the zodiac per day, meaning that in an entire year, Venus will move through the entire zodiac, spending around 1 day at each degree of the zodiac. And Venus governs sense and sensibility, so our physical side, our physical senses, and then also how we feel about our relationship with other people. So, to put it simply, you can think of your Venus story as representing the things that bring you pleasure, and it then becomes what's known as the basis of satisfaction for you. So, your version of satisfaction and your version of pleasure will be described by your Venus position. So, on the one hand, you can think of Venus as representing those aspects of your psyche associated with your experience of pleasure. Venus's nature is therefore said to be pleasurable, accommodating, and benefic. And what I mean when I'm saying her nature, the essential quality of Venus in terms of a symbol represents the aspects of psyche that govern how we experience pleasure, create peace or beauty in our lives, as well as what we're attracted to and how we attract others. So on this level, Venus represents our sexual response in terms of the things we're attracted to and the way that we relate to other people on a sexual level. So it's a really important principle to understand. So let's talk first of all about sensuality. What do we mean by that? Because your Venus sign is said to describe your relationship to sensuality, pleasure, and comfort. So Venus's sign will describe the kinds of things that you draw pleasure from, the kinds of things that feel pleasurable or comfortable for you. So it has a lot to do with what we describe as, or what we relate to in terms of our physical senses. The sensuality aspect is all about the physical body. On another level, Venus also represents our attitude towards relationships. So it describes your way of interacting with others and how you establish rapport. So in terms of balance, you can think of Venus as describing your way of achieving balance with other people. From this, we find the idea that happiness comes from pleasure and peace. So knowing the position or the quality of Venus within your chart will symbolize what you find pleasurable and also who you enjoy sharing that with. And at this point, I think it's important to say sexuality is a fluid spectrum, and everyone has their own individual expression of sexuality. And so there's no way that we can define a person's sexual preference based on their Venus position, but the kinds of experiences that will feel pleasurable or that you will experience as pleasure giving are described by your Venus sign. So there's no placement in an astrology chart that shows sexual orientation. It's more the style that you will feel most comfortable with. So, put simply, your Venus sign and house shows what delights you, how you find pleasure in life, and the ways you interact with others. And if you don't know the sign and house placement of Venus, then you can either contact an astrologer like myself or create your own chart online and then have a look for your Venus sign as well as the house that she's in. This will give you a lot of really useful information that can help you to understand what it is that brings you joy. And I would say that this is a really useful thing to understand about yourself and, of course, about other people, because when we come down to relationships, so when we're looking at compatibility between two people, we're really looking to understand if there's compatibility between the things that bring you joy and the other person involved. So, hopefully you found that interesting. It's just a brief introduction into the nature of Venus. If you'd like to go further, if you'd like to know more about how Venus operates and how Venus works in astrology, then I'd really encourage you to join one of our online courses. We've created a new online learning experience which makes it really easy for you to understand astrology and go further into this amazing world. You can sign up on a month-by-month level. There's no commitment. There's just simple payment terms. So join us for a month, see if you like it. And if you want to continue, just stay for as long as you like. So if you're interested, you'll find a link underneath the video which will help you to access our astrology school, or otherwise just poke around the website and have a look and find lots of new and interesting information, and hopefully enjoy the journey traveling with us through the galaxy. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again for another video very soon.